in France. Now, with the terror threat up, New Hampshire Republican Senator Kelly Ayotte says this is no time to be talking about shutting Gitmo down. You just say go slow at the very least, right?
Absolutely, we need a timeout. The administration, unfortunately, Neil, has been trying to empty Gitmo. They transferred 15 detainees in December alone, 4 to Afghanistan on December 30th. And what they're doing is these were designated either high risk or medium risk in the past. We're talking about people who have been associated with Al-Qaeda or have been involved in planning attacks or participating in attacks against our troops. So these are not minor players. They're trying to transfer them all out of Gitmo. And look at the security situation we're facing around the world. So we've introduced legislation today, myself, the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, the chairman of the Intel Committee in the Senate, that would put a 2-year moratorium on the transfer of medium and high risk detainees. It's a timeout and also a prohibition on transfer to Yemen.
All right, so the 100 or so remain. They would all be at a minimum medium to high risk, right?
Most of them, I would say the vast overwhelming numbers who are there are the most dangerous terrorists left. There's 127 at Guantanamo, 81 of them are from Yemen. The administration has basically lifted the ban on transferring detainees to Yemen, and that's why our legislation reinstates it. Let's not forget that of the 2 that have been alleged to be involved in the attacks in Paris, they have connections to Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, the headquarters of which is Yemen. One is alleged to have traveled to Yemen, maybe gotten training there. So we do not want to transfer terrorists to Yemen in light of the security situation there. There was a major suicide bombing last week in Yemen. This is the wild, wild west for terrorists in Yemen. And we need to stop the administration from even thinking about transferring terrorists to Yemen.
You know, Senator, their argument is they just don't dump them off in any of these designated countries. Then let's say they go to Tunisia. Tunisia then will monitor their whereabouts. Now, you and some of your colleagues have argued that's not the case. Once they're in these countries, no one keeps track of them.
Well, absolutely, Neil. That is not the case. In fact, they have not been reporting to the American people what are the conditions upon which these released detainees are being held. The public information is those that were released, 4 of them on December 30th to Afghanistan, went back to their families. Remember the Taliban 5? We understand that they are eventually making it back to their families if they're not already there. And here's the problem. We know with those that have alleged to have been involved in what happened in Paris, they were under surveillance for a while. So surveillance is not sufficient when we're talking about dangerous terrorists and the security climate that we're in right now and the threats that we face around the world.